Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by
Metalloid Firearms and Sports, utilizing botanical technologies to develop an advanced high-performance line of environmentally friendly firearm maintenance products that will not only clean and protect your firearms, but also your leather and wood components. Find out more at metalloidfirearmsproducts.com. And by Mr. Muskie Charters, offering full-service guided fishing trips for walleye, muskie, bass, and sturgeon on Lake St. Clair and the Detroit and St. Clair rivers. Booking information is online at mrmuskiecharters.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson and we've got a fun show for you this week. I'll take you out fishing with a couple of young men who are absolutely amazing. You won't want to miss that story. And Jimmy and the guys have been working on some other great stuff for us this week too.
Well, that's right, Jenny. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. We're going to do a little bear dog training with our good friend Gabe Van Warmer. You won't want to miss that. We're also going to stop in with our friends at MUCC and SCI to see their Camp for Kids and learn a little bit more about that. And in our Natural Resources News segment, we're going to stop in with a local angler to find out really what's going on out there when it comes to the Lake Michigan fishery. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors. Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream. It's the love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, offering a variety of meat products. Country Smokehouse is located 3 miles south of I-69 on M53, just south of Imlay City. Country Smokehouse is a meat processor, a butcher, and a destination for sportsmen. By KL Outdoor, a Muskegon manufacturer of sportsman's outdoor products for over 30 years, featuring the Terrain line of hard-sided hunting blinds designed for quick setup and removal with quiet operation. For more information and other products, kloutdoor.com. By G5 Outdoors, makers of the Quest and Prime bows. Manufactured and designed in Memphis, Michigan, G5 offers archery bows, broadheads, and accessories. On the web at g5outdoors.com.
We all have one, that perfect spot, a special place we go to smooth out the ripples of the day. Our perfect spot is calling. Our perfect spot is Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Well, in our next story, our own Gabe Van Warmer was able to get out into the woods with some folks doing a little bear dog training, and they took some legislators with so that they could see what the world of the big hounds is all about.
One of my favorite things to do each year is join a group of houndsmen to chase bears with dogs. The DeLongs are a great family to tag along with and have a long heritage of hound hunting in the northern lower. But today was not just any training day for these guys.
The goal here today is pretty simple. Wildlife shouldn't be political, but it is in this day and age with HSUS, PETA, other groups like that. Portraying what we do as like a bloodthirsty sport or a sport that they liken it to gladiators in the arena, and it's nothing like that at all. So we have an attempt to bring out some legislators, and there's 3 different areas around the state where they're going out with groups and just showing them the reality of what it's like and why we do it. So when issues come up, political issues come up, like the wolf season or maybe come up hunting with dogs or whatever, they will actually have done it and seen it themselves and understand what we do and how we do it a little bit and why we do it. It's a lifestyle, that's for certain. When you go bear hunting with hounds, you go bear hunting to watch your dogs run. And that's a big difference. I've never shot a bear, I don't care if I ever do, but I sure like it. My dogs that we've raised and trained chase one up a tree, and that's why we're here. It's kind of catch and release hunting.
So we put a bear, we call it the bear chair, and we put it up in front of the truck here, and I'm gonna sit on here, and we drive slowly down the roads, and I look down and look for a bear track. When I see it, I say, whoop, and we check which way it goes off the road and decide if we're gonna chase that bear. And so he rigs it up.
We don't see many of those in Macomb County.
No, we don't. Yeah, we don't see any.
You don't see many like that in Roseville.
No, we sure don't.
You want to try it?
In Warren, there's not many.
I think you should try it.
Who wants to try it?
Sure, get on there. Actually, what it is, see that spring and everything? It's a seat to an Amish that the Amish put on their farm equipment, and I just bought it and reversed it and cut it a little bit for a seat on here. You'll see other trucks.
He'll keep it around 35 miles an hour or so.
That fast?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's a 2 mile an hour. Where's the seat?
With many trucks out looking for tracks and dogs up on the boxes trying to catch a bear's scent, it wasn't long before we had one up and running. This is big country up here, and the houndsmen use radios and GPS collars to keep their dogs safe.
Our fellow hunters have got a bear started up here, and apparently, according to the radio, it just come to the road and went back in, so we're live action. And we've got some legislators behind us to show them what this is all about, and looks like it's going to be a good morning, maybe, I hope. People would have you believe that these bears are running in terror. No, it's a nuisance to them. No difference. They live with coyotes, they live with wolves. Wolves are after bears. You can't pretend that they don't. That happens. And bears' escape is to go up a tree. We raise these dogs and train these dogs. They're trained to follow the bear track, and when the bear says, "I'm tired of running," he climbs the tree. And then they sit at the bottom and bark, and we all come and say, "Look how great our dogs are. They chased a bear up a tree." And we put a leash on, and we go south, and the bear goes north, and everybody's happy.
I think it's great. I mean, I haven't been outdoors. Last year we were campaigning, so we didn't get out hunting last year, but this is fantastic. Anytime you could be outdoors, it's great for the state of Michigan and great experience for yourself and your family.
Was that your first bear tree?
Yes.
And what did you think?
I thought it was pretty cool. I think it's amazing the people that do it, and it looks like it's a cultural thing, and I know how things get in your blood, and then you want to keep doing it. So
have you been on one?
No, this is my first one too, and it was very exciting. I loved it, and I loved how the other families came with their children and their wives and that. I thought that was great. Everybody needs to get outdoors and see what's going on.
The more urbanized our society becomes, the less they understand about the forest and nature and all it entails. This isn't just about bears out here. They'll see an eagle, they'll see a coyote, they might see a frog hopping or whatever. And to get youth to be involved in nature and be involved in protecting all this. Everybody thinks, well, hunters, they want to kill and destroy. No. The bear hunters have just lobbied to have the bear tags cut by more than half because we felt the resource was under pressure. And hunters are the ones that pay for and conserve all this. There's a Kirkland warbler area over here, very, very rare bird. It's hunters' money that make that preservation and protection of that bird. It's hunters' money that allowed for the wolves to be protected and reintroduced in the UP. And we understand that responsibility and respect that responsibility, that we're here to conserve these forests, conserve the wildlife within them. And it's important to instill that in our children, I think.
Come back here this year in training season, and 2 weeks ago we treated a sow with one cub that had a half ear. We knew that was a sow from last year that we had let go. And then a week ago on Saturday and Sunday they treated 3 different sows with 3 cubs apiece on them. So we think that maybe some of them are the ones that we let go last fall, and we're not here to harvest them. We're just here to have fun. And it's nice to have a tag, but not necessarily use it.
A special thanks to the DeLong family for being active advocates for our sport, and to Mike Thorman and Anne-Marie LaValle for allowing me to ride along as they answered questions from the legislators. All of us sportsmen need to stick together and help educate those who may not know or understand our outdoor heritage here in Michigan's outdoors.
This next story isn't any old fishing story. I was in a beautiful place here in our great state of Michigan with some amazing young men spending a day on the water.
Hey Jenny, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good.
Good, so we're here at Valhalla Lodge.
Yes, we're here at Valhalla Lodge, and we've got two great young men coming in to enjoy an evening, a great deer viewing and elk viewing, and tomorrow morning we're going to go out and on our private lakes here at Valhalla and hopefully catch some of the monster bass that are floating in these ponds.
Oh, nice. All right, can't wait. Joining Perry for this deer viewing and fishing adventure were 28-year-old Richie Benzinger from Ubley and 16-year-old Drew Foster from Flushing. Richie's dad Rick and brother Bob were here with him, and Drew brought his dad and best fishing buddy, Chad. The guys were able to get in a quick tour of the 900-acre ranch before dark and saw some beautiful bucks along the way. Then it was time to check out the lodge. Speaking of big bucks, this place has plenty of antlers on the walls that had Drew smiling ear to ear. Both Drew and Richie are accomplished hunters, but love to fish whenever they get the chance as well. The crew got settled in for the night and up and at 'em early the next morning for what Perry promised would be some good fishing on one of the lakes here at Valhalla.
At Valhalla, we have 4 true bodies of water here, and each one fishes fairly unique. The one that we fish today is really kind of our bass honey hole, but you know, the bluegill are big in there as we've seen, and there's obviously some pike in there too that we've caught. And the other, we have one body that's known for its perch. We've got one body of water that's like 45 feet deep, and that one's known for its pike. So it's really unique. Every day we could fish a different body of water and fish in a whole different manner, which makes it unique and fun, you know? Every day is different.
The guys were getting the gear set up for pike, bass, and panfish, which takes a little more effort than most of us need. Richie has a rare neurological condition called microcephaly, and Drew has a couple of limitations to deal with.
Drew has osteogenesis imperfecta, which is brittle bones, which means he breaks bones very easily. Obviously, he's in a wheelchair, so he can't walk or weight bear, so it is a little hard for him to get out and do a lot of things that you and I do. So that's essentially, you know, his disability is his brittle bones. He also noticed that he has spots on him, which are just moles. It's completely separate, has nothing to do with it. Literally, you could say that he is 1 in a million. Actually, he's probably the only one. So, yeah, he truly is a special kid.
Getting up early was paying off. The bass were on the bite and the guys were having a blast. Richie's dad, Rick, has 3 sons and says it's always been a priority to get his kids outdoors.
That's part of life, hanging out with the kids and enjoying the outdoors and doing our deer hunting. And we do a lot of things together. We go boating, jet skiing. Fell off the jet ski the other day. He wasn't too happy, but he got over it. And go deer hunting. We got a little cabin we stay the night at and go deer hunting and 4-wheeler riding, snowmobiling. He ain't got it so bad.
Big.
Yeah.
Well.
Here we go. There we go. Let's catch another one.
Good job. First fish.
Keeps them active and they get to see what it's all about, wildlife, and gives them something to do besides watch TV and, you know, play his Nintendo. But he loves the outdoors. He gets right into that stuff. So.
Woo! Woo! What do you think of that one? All right.
So what kinds of adventures have you and Rich been on in the past?
Deer hunting. That's his favorite. Getting that big buck, huh?
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a big deer hunter.
Cool. Both of these guys love to hunt and fish. Drew was the next one to hook up with a battle out here.
Keep bringing them. You got her, Drew.
Keep her coming.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, it's staying down. It's something big.
Oh, we got weeds, too.
You and weeds.
Woo!
A little bit further.
Keep going. Keep going. Dad's got him.
Oh, woo! Holy cow, I don't know what weighs more.
What do you like about hanging out with your dad?
Just the bonding time.
Yeah.
Outdoors. It's good to get out, enjoy nature.
Okay. What are you thinking about when you're out there?
That next catch.
Awesome. So what was your favorite part so far about the trip up here?
It's beautiful up here. I mean, it's just breathtaking.
Cool. How'd that feel?
That was hard.
It's hard. Look at that. Look at that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Have you caught a bass before?
Yeah, I've got one.
Cool.
I don't know if he was this big though, eh? The outdoors has always been a passion of mine, and you know, after Drew was born, it was, you know, the thoughts kept rolling. How was it going to happen? How were we going to do this? And throughout the journey, we met a lot of great people, and we've been able to get Drew out, you know, deer hunting and turkey hunting, and which we now do on a regular basis, even on a bear hunt last year. So we've had special equipment made for him in the blind so he can sit, and you know, he uses a crossbow. The journey has been fantastic. I mean, it's shaped him so much to be able to get out in the outdoors and learn all this stuff and just see so much stuff that nobody else is able to see.
It's folks like Perry Haleski and the crew here at Valhalla Lodge that make moments like this possible for Drew and Richie.
Taking kids on special trips that we've always done has been something I've truly enjoyed. Giving back is probably the thing I love to do most. And today I invited Drew and Richie to come up and fish with us here. And we had a great experience last night, seeing all the big wildlife. And this morning got them out of bed early, reluctantly. They all got out of bed early for me. And we had a great day of fishing. We probably caught a couple dozen fish, and it was just truly amazing. And they had a great time, and yet another great memory was made.
Great memories indeed. The smiles and laughter out here on the water are what we all crave when we head out with family and friends. That's something we should never take for granted. Thanks to Richie and Drew for reminding us what it's all about here in Michigan's Out of Doors. Nice job.
Thank you.
Well, there are groups all around the state of Michigan that are really doing a good job of going above and beyond and getting kids and new people into the out of doors. Our good friends at SCI and MUCC have been teaming up the last few summers, and we wanted to show you what their Camp for Kids is all about.
As summer slips away from us, I think it's important to let you know about a pretty cool camp that you may just want to look into for next summer. Our friends at MUCC, along with some other key groups, are doing some very good work at getting new kids into the outdoors and building on the experience for some others.
So we focus on outdoor technical skill building with the kids. We have 9 different themes that the kids can choose from, ranging from inland fishing and fur harvesting to big game hunting, waterfowl hunting, wilderness survival is kind of our niche in the camp world. A big portion of the kids who are here this week are coming from backgrounds where they don't have any outdoor experience. So there's kids who haven't seen stars before, kids who've never shot .22s, and they're mixed in with kids who have a lot more experience. So it's a good melting pot to get kids exposed to the outdoors and get them out and seeing Michigan's natural resources.
Not only is there good staff here, but some very good volunteers as well. And with the help of SCI, there has been hundreds of kids that have got to have this experience free of charge.
Well, SCI Novi, the chapter, is one of 13 chapters here in Michigan. And as a chapter, we focus on youth and getting them into conservation, the outdoors, hunting, and outdoor activities to help them get out of the house, explore and enjoy the things that we as sportsmen enjoy in our life. And so that's a major focus of our chapter and the board and everybody involved in our chapter. We've been involved with MUCC in this camp probably for about 8 or 9 years now. And we've helped them kind of develop a program from the onset that focuses a little bit more on the hunting aspect from a variety of both Michigan as well as the entire country as well as the entire world. And in partnership with MUCC, they've also helped us try to find these children each year, because we sponsor up to 80 kids. We've done this now for, like I said, 8 or 9 years. So it's been a great partnership, and every year we're looking to build on it and try to get more people involved.
The Cedar Lake area is a great facility here, and with several cabins around the property, kids get to have that traditional camp experience. And one part of the camp that is very unique to this place is that a large percentage of the kids that attend here are also getting their hunter safety certificate while at camp.
So hunter safety is a big piece of what we do here. We'll pump through about 190 kids this summer. So those are all kids who haven't taken the class before. So they take 2 hours of hunter safety each day, classroom instruction, and then they'll spend time on the 22 range and both of our normal target archery course and the 3D range. The kids think we make a big impact. We get a lot of feedback in the fall. We do some data collection on kids who take hunter safety with us, and then they're getting out in the woods and getting out on the water when the seasons roll around. We've had kids send in pictures of successful hunts after they've come to camp, and our returners definitely come back year after year to continue to experience and keep building skills that they started their foundations here at camp.
The things that you hear from the children is just tremendous, and obviously I think it helps inspire everybody to keep this program going. And their connections, the friendships they make here, the experiences that they never would have if they didn't have this opportunity to be at this camp is probably the biggest thing we hear. And of course, you hear about the shooting and the canoeing and the campfires and the orienteering and all the things that they learn. So that's very rewarding in itself.
The kids that attend this MUCC camp get to shoot trap, try the rifle range, shoot 3D archery, and get to do all the stuff that summer camp is all about. I think it's important to shine a light on programs like this. It's great to see folks making a real effort to expose the next generation to the outdoors. As conservation groups partner up around the state like MUCC and SCI, along with the Riley Foundation, some really good things can happen. Camp is always fun for kids and just to get away and try something new. But when you add in hunter safety to the mix and get them some hands-on real-world experience, well, we are all better for it. If you have a young hunter in your life that just may be up for a unique camp experience, well, you now have yet another reason to look forward to next summer.
This week in our natural resource news, we stop in with Glenn Buhner, a charter boat captain out of the port of Ludington, to learn a little more about the state of our Chinook salmon fishery and what to expect in the coming years. There's been a lot of questions about how we should handle the salmon in Lake Michigan to avoid a collapse. Glenn believes that part of the problem is cuts to the salmon stocking program, which not only hurts the salmon numbers, but may eventually hurt the lakeside communities as well.
The public's been reading a lot of negative news that the lake is dead, that there isn't salmon. The salmon industry is collapsing because of the bait fish population, and that is not exactly true. The DNR plans on cutting salmon from 1.8 million to 690,000 lake-wide, and our concern from the economic standpoint for the entire state is that that further cut will wipe out whole communities. You know, it's what's related to this fishing industry, which is bigger than just tackle shops, marinas, talking motels, campgrounds, hotels, gas stations. It's going to affect everybody. And our concern is we're not seeing the impact of no bait. Wisconsin, from lower Michigan, all across Wisconsin through the upper peninsula is loaded with bait. And that's what the salmon are eating. The DNR continues to plant 3.248 million lake trout a year. We're asking, why aren't you making cuts to this other apex predator that also puts pressure on the alewife population? We're asking just to maintain the current planting levels of 1.8 million. Reduce harvest creel census limits from 5 fish to 3 fish per license. And we're asking for lake trout harvest numbers to increase from 3 fish to 4 or 5. Wisconsin's asking their creel limit to go from 2 to 3. So we're taking additional lake trout out of the lake because of the impact that they have living decades feeding on alewives. We're also asking, let's cut lake trout plants so we can get a balanced, diversified habitat. Right now we don't see that biodiversified habitat because there are so many lake trout plants. We're not asking for that to be eliminated by any means. We just like to see a balance to maintain our Chinook salmon fishery.
Although there's no simple solution, it's imperative that we do our best to keep our Chinook salmon fishery alive and well so that future generations can enjoy salmon fishing in Lake Michigan.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you check us out online next time you get a chance. You can do it a couple of different ways on our website at MichiganOutofDoorsTV.com or on our Facebook page at Michigan Out of Doors TV. We're on Facebook every few days letting you know where we are and where we're headed next. And speaking of where we're headed next, we have a lot of fun in store for you here on Michigan Out of Doors this fall.
Well, we do have a lot of good stuff coming over the next few weeks here in Michigan Out of Doors. The small game season is literally days away. The youth deer season is just beyond that. And we're going to have something that we haven't had on the show in a few years, and that is what goes into training a conservation officer. That's going to be on next week's program. Lots of good stuff coming over the next few weeks. And if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Rosie Brothers. Located in Dryden, Michigan, Rosie Brothers has been serving Michigan for over 40 years. Specializing in outdoor needs, Rosie Brothers features Kubota tractors and equipment for use in farm, home, or commercial needs. On the web at rosiebrosinc.com. By the Michigan chapters of Safari Club International. For over 40 years, SCI has been protecting hunters' rights and promoting wildlife conservation here in Michigan and around the world. SCI chapter locations can be found on the web at firstformichigan.org. By Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises of Munising, exploring Lake Superior's Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore with its sandstone cliffs, caves, waterfalls, and lighthouses. Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises on the web at picturedrocks.com. Closed captioning is provided by Marvo Mineral, makers of Lucky Buck, deer management products including minerals to supplement deer diets year-round to improve health and antler growth.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbows